listeners, it's me, the orphan child from the podcast Oldie But a Goodie. I'm not an orphan child anymore. No, I'm an orphan old man. In fact, you might say I am the oldie but a goodie of the podcast. Don't say that, that's not me. Oh. But I have lived a good life. I've done some things. I've gone some places. I've met humans. I've met animals. Oh, wow. Get a load of that. And with all that in mind, let me tell you the story of the season so far. So, it all started in January, the month of 2023, the year. And Sandra and Zach, the boys, were testing out their new time travel technology when Sandra got himself sent right back to the year 1920 by himself, didn't he, the goose? And the only way to get back was to op from one year to the next year every week. So each episode, Zach Zach jumps into the body of a historical figure to do the podcast. But one day, he bloomin' hopped into the bloomin' body of bloomin' inventor Harry Grindell Matthews. And he gave Harry visions of the future. Oh, Harry is he's sort of like the big bad guy for the season, you know what I mean? He's messing up history by stealing Zach's knowledge about time travel. And Sandro's got to stop him. Also, oh yeah, that's right. Also, it was revealed that Zach caused all of this hullabaloo to turn Oldie But a Goodie, the podcast, instead into a Dragons and Dungeons podcast. But that doesn't seem very important at the moment, so let's gloss over it, I think. I think after this one, we'll have a bunch of standalone episodes over the next 2 months, because this is getting quite complicated and I can't keep up. I'm an old man. Let's all tune back in and see what adventures the boys get up to as they finally arrive in the year 1930. Alright, bye.
Imagine a year where they made an Animals Crackers movie, but it wasn't horse shit and the comedy was actually funny because they didn't just use celebrities.
What year is that, Zach? It's definitely not 2017.
The year is 1930.
Why, hello, and welcome to Oldie But a Goodie. Oh, it's a brand new decade, 1930. Look at this. This is wonderful, isn't it? Walking around, having a look. I'm actually in Canada right now, somewhere I haven't been over the last 10 weeks. I thought I'd try something different, go to a new area for a new era of film. I'm here in 1930, looking for someone to talk to. Oh. This person on the street looks quite distinguished. Hello.
Oh, hello there, young fella. How might you be doing? A bit of Welsh there for a second. Oh, howdy doody. I'm a Canadian. How's your day going?
You sound more Swedish, but I believe you. I'm good.
It's close enough.
Okay. What's your name? What's your name?
Oh, you don't know my name? Oh, I guess that's fair. I'm R.B. Bennett.
R.B. Bennett? Well, what's that? A name for are you like a politician or something with those two letters at the start of your name?
I mean, that's a fine assumption. Yes, I'm the 11th Prime Minister of Canada.
Oh.
And the most boring person in the world.
You're boring, really? Oh, no.
Oh, absolutely. I'm the most boring person in the world.
How are you boring?
I was born in the 1870s, and I started my early political career studying law.
Oh, God, I don't care.
Yeah, you see, I joined up in the 1897 with James Loghorn.
Oh, I don't. Loghorn?
Loghorn.
That's
yes.
That's a funny name.
to do political and law business with the Canadian Pacific Railway. And oh dear, what's that in the sky over there? There appears to be some funny light show going on in them Americas, eh?
Oh my, you were describing something so cool to look at, yet making it so boring by how you're describing it. You're right, there's always more interesting stuff happening over in America. I'm crossing the border. Bye! I'm gonna walk over here.
What? Where are you going? This is part of the intro. You've got to stay with my character. I need to tell you about law.
Oh, well, see ya, R.B. Bennett.
Hello, it's me, Harry Grindle Matthews.
Oh, I've crossed the border and instantly run into this guy. Oh, I knew that big light in the sky would somehow be about, in reference to you.
What are you talking about? That is a telegraphic projection into the sky.
Yes.
Of many individuals and characters forming a television-like aspect to the sky.
You're broadcasting television in the sky. What do you do? What is your plan, Harry Grindle Matthews?
Well, I don't know. As you see, the lights are over there. I'm not actually projecting it. It's an alternative version of me that's projecting those lights. But if I was to theorize, I would say that he is trying to show off his immense genius to the common masses and authorities in that area.
Right, because you're the Grindle Matthews who's working with Steve Jobs and the Logan Paul brothers.
That is correct.
But that's the Grindle Matthews who didn't have time travel technology.
Yes.
What is this? Is this some sort of Kang situation? Are you Kang, Harry Grindle Matthews?
I don't get that reference, as I haven't seen Ant-Man.
So do not many other people, because it's a bad movie, actually.
Ooh, political, but also true, though. It was a mid-movie, thank you very much.
It was mid, not bad, it was mid.
It was very mid.
Get back in character, we gotta do this long intro.
Oh, sorry, yes, I'm Harry Grindle Matthews. Anyway, my younger self is over there. You can see him in these binoculars. Very handsome young man.
Oh my god, he's naked. Have these binoculars back. My goodness.
Yeah, I don't know why he's naked. I can't take credit for that one. That's a different Harry Grindle Matthews. Different timeline, different me.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
Anyway, this is all getting a bit complicated, so I'm just going to let Zach possess me now before this story gets more convoluted and weird.
It has gotten very... I feel like we might need a few standalone episodes after this one without any lore and just kind of fun, silly characters like Spooky Jeff.
Like the 11th Prime Minister of Canada?
No, someone who's actually funny and
on
boring.
Oh, hi, it's me.
Oh.
I'm the most boring person in the whole world.
I shot ya. I shot ya with my gun.
Oh dear. Oh no, I've been shot. Oh dear. Well, that's a bit of a bother now, isn't it? Goodbye.
Why do you sound like a hobbit? Anyway, let's go. Let's just let Zach take. This is becoming a nightmare.
Oh, hey, I'm in this body again. Why is it constantly Harry Grindle Matthews?
I don't know. I think we need some standalone episodes. Like, we might need to end on some sort of cliffhanger and then do a bunch of, like, standalone, like, Rick and Morty style adventures.
Why didn't you shoot Harry Grindle Matthews if you had a gun all this time?
Oh, no, I got the gun in between episodes because I went to Canada and I bought a gun. Yeah. That happened in between. You gotta go to Patreon for the lore on that one.
It's a law. Oh,
no, I'm
going to
forget it. We haven't recorded the Patreon episode that's out last week yet, but we're doing it after this. Maybe I'll remember to put in like a post-credit sequence where I buy a gun in Canada.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Anyway, I don't... Oh, you're Zach. I'm one of you. I'm one of you.
What?
Yep.
What?
I'm one of you. You know why?
Why?
You're trying to turn this into a D&D podcast.
It's true. And I'm just making the lore more convoluted so I can add more characters to it.
That's what you're doing. You're trying to stop the Movie Bro podcast and you're trying to make it into a D&D podcast, but you know what? I'm going to stop you. Yeah. We really ended last week on, like, that being the big bad twist of the episode. But now I'm like, it's not really. Time's fucked up. We should probably focus on that.
Yeah, look, I was trying to make it a D&D podcast, but also time's kind of fucked now, which was my bad. Whoops. I tried to make it a D&D podcast and I fucked everything up.
Oh, no.
My apologies for that one.
Oh, well, it's fine. Let's do a podcast. Let's review Animal Crackers, a Marx Brothers film based off their stage play. It's got characters and crackers, and they're doing stuff, and we're gonna do non-spoilers and then spoilers, but it's comedy, so we'll probably spoil some jokes anyway, accidentally. What did you think of Animal Crackers, Zach?
Hey, this movie, a lot better than other Animal Cracker movies that I have seen before.
So because there was an animated one, wasn't there?
Yes, the 2017 Animal Crackers. Have you seen that one?
No.
It's pretty bad.
It looks terrible.
It's really, really bad. But it had, like, Ian McKellen, Sylvester Stallone, Danny DeVito, you know.
Oh my god.
It had all these celebrities.
Oh, Raven from That's Not Raven was in it?
And it has nothing to do with this movie. I just wanted to mention it because it has the exact same name.
Yes.
Animal Crackers, but it's literally about animals and crackers. And it's pretty much just like a rip-off of Madagascar. Like, they were trying to live off that hype.
Yeah, okay.
It was dumb.
But we're not talking about that. That's all we're talking about is the Marx Bros movie, the Marx Brothers. Marx Brothers, have you seen Marx Brothers before? They're very influential. It's basically just Monty Python before Monty Python was a thing.
Yeah, no, it really is. Oh, and it was so good. I was not expecting this much high-octane comedy.
It's very fast-paced, isn't it? Like, for our first talkie, we're instantly getting something where every single bit of dialogue is a joke.
Yeah, every single bit. And it's like, oh, I was going to say all these old movies, they don't do well for the TikTok generation. No, this was too much for me, you know? There was a joke every second. I couldn't keep up.
There's a lot.
This movie's insane. It pivots between, like, jokes about the plot and actual jokes, and then just jokes about misinterpreting, like, literally taking statements and misinterpreting statements. It constantly flip-flops, and it's kind of great.
There's a lot of sketches in here. It just stops for a sketch. And you're like, this is really good.
Like that one where they're talking about, like, the investigation of how to get the painting back, and they pivot into... And then they talk about the neighborhood, which pivots them into talking about how this guy is a single mother looking for a house, you know?
Yeah.
And the other guy's trying to sell him this house. And then they go back to the investigation, and the other guy's still stuck in the sketch about the house. And he's like, wait, what painting? What are we talking about?
It's it's so fast-paced. I'm glad that you liked it, because I do quite like Marx Bros. And, you know, we both like Monty Python, so it makes sense that you'd like this one as well.
Yeah.
I don't think this is not my favorite from them, though. There's a lot in this that has not aged very well at all.
Like the racism. Yay! Racism! Oh,
and just a running joke being violent towards women is just a running joke throughout the entire movie.
No, yeah, it's pretty bad. Especially the like, dumb guy.
The professor was the character's name, yeah.
Yes. Who doesn't speak, but is constantly chasing after women in a very problematic way.
Yeah, there's a running joke where he's just chasing this blonde woman the entire film. And, he, like, hits them with, like, newspapers and...
Yes.
Tears their clothes off with his teeth. And it's just like, my God, sir, this is... this is, not very funny. And that has, aged the film quite a bit. But also, like, when the movie is good, it's very good.
Yes. It's definitely, like, got a few problematic things like that, you know?
Yeah. But it's the 30s. Like, what the fuck did we expect?
But yeah, no, it's definitely a product of its time, and it's not too bad, but the rest of the film is pretty good.
Yeah, aside from everything that the professor does.
Yeah.
And that.
I mean, the professor plays some nice music.
Oh, true.
Between trying to assault women, you know? So that was alright.
And I liked as well, and that's always kind of the thing, because it's Harpo Marx who plays the professor. He's always, like, the silent character. So it's a good contrast of having everyone else be too talky, one might say. I don't think that, but too talky, one might say. Too many words being said.
Whoa.
And then having, like, Harpo just be just silent the entire time.
It's a good way of getting like a good silent film actor
Yeah.
to still be good in your film, because, then they don't have to speak and they can just continue on. A bit like Rowan Atkinson,
Yes.
doing his whole, like, Mr. Bean, although he's going, he's making noises, but still, the same sort of thing where you can have, like, one character that doesn't say anything, but the rest do,
Yeah, definitely.
is quite a fun thing.
But yeah, if you haven't seen Marx Brothers before, I would recommend checking out. The two big ones are Duck Soup. That's like the big one, is Duck Soup.
Yep.
It's great. And then also A Night at the Opera is the other really popular one. Those are their two. I think
How racist are those movies?
they're still products of the 30s. From memory,
okay.
they're
Yep,
not
yep,
as
yep.
bad as moments in this, but also I was a lot younger when I saw those, so...
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of them. This one is, like, not that popular out of all of them, but it definitely has a name that I have remembered for a while and always kind of wanted to watch, so yeah. Animal Crackers. But yeah, it really is just a series of sketches, so I guess in terms of non-spoiler review, there's not much that we can really say here, because it's all jokes, and we don't want to give away the punchline.
Yeah,
so...
I already started spoiling things because I forgot we do non-spoilers at the start. But yeah, there's a lot of jokes, a lot of fast-paced things. It's pretty fun. And, like, it lives... once again, my comedy is eternal theory, I think, is being proven correct once again.
I mean, I was partly correct that as soon as they started talking, they started saying bad things, and it started getting slightly worse.
Yeah, but also, like, it's still good, and it's still, like, better, I would say, than some of the other films we have watched,
Yeah, I do think that it's definitely better than last week's movie.
Yeah,
the last two
exactly.
movies that we've done, honestly.
I think it goes with my theory that comedy in itself is a bit more of an eternal format where you don't necessarily need to one-up the previous movie sort of thing. If you're funny, it's fun,
But yeah, like, you can see so many styles of comedy starting from this. Like, every fucking Monty Python movie stems from this. Even, like, Auntie Donna comes from this.
Yeah.
It's like, there's some absurd stuff in here that, has now become more popular.
It's funny that, because it's got a bit of that, like, it is just Monty Python before Monty Python. Because, like, there's that physical comedy as well, a bit sort of slapsticky.
Yeah.
Like the Black Knight sort of level of physicality.
Yeah.
But, I chopped off all your limbs. Spoiler for Monty Pythons. But they're still just standing there having conversations. But there is physical comedy going around this standing there conversation. sort of thing.
Yeah.
That happens a lot in this movie, like with the painting. The whole painting plot is pretty great.
Yeah, the general plot of the movie, it's like, there's a painting and people are trying to steal it, and it just becomes a mess.
Yeah, it's deliberately super confusing, and I'm pretty sure, like, I didn't know what the fuck was going on at the end there. I don't know if you did.
I lost the thread. Yeah, I definitely lost the thread.
Yeah, they deliberately... I'm pretty sure the thread is, like, cut in places. Like, there is no thread to... If you try following the thread, it won't make any sense.
Well, at the end, I was expecting them to be like, I don't know, we don't know, end of movie. I was kind of expecting them to just give up.
That's how Monty Python would have ended it, right? They just end up with all these copies of the painting and no one knows where the fuck the original one went.
Exactly. I was thinking of something else. Oh yeah, like with like the Monty Python thing, it's like, yes, it's got the physical comedy, but there's also just scenes in this movie that are just the Pet Shop sketch. It's like, it's just that style of comedy.
Wow.
And you're like, great.
I like it.
Definitely good. I think you would really enjoy some of the other Marx Brothers movies as well. I think you'd get a big kick out of them. And by kick, I mean kick to your funny bone.
Oh, absolutely. If they're better than this one, I already quite liked this one and thought it was good. Like, I was considering watching it again so I could pick up on more of the jokes because there's so many jokes per second.
And I do like how this one as well is adapted from a musical, and so there's just random songs in it every now and then.
Oh, that was great. When it started off with a song, it had like a little bit at the start, and then it just goes into a song. Again, not expecting it at all, and it was really fun. Music in this one, fantastic, I'd say.
I'm glad that we've gotten our first talky comedy, our first wise guy comedy, and our first musical, kind of all in one.
Yeah, this was like a slap in the face of the funny fish, you know? A funny singing and dancing fish, you know?
There's some very good songs in this as well. One thing I noticed, and I want to get your thoughts on it, was obviously a movie like this is meant to be watched with a crowd, so there's pauses for laughter. I don't think there should be a laugh track for this movie, because that's bad. But what if, like, there was kind of a recording of people's reactions to this? I think that could be really funny. Like, you watch
that
this...
That would be interesting.
Maybe as a stage play, is kind of how it would work, like a film stage version.
Absolutely. I would like it better if you watched it with a crowd, you know, in a cinema. This would be a good cinematic experience, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know about a crowd track.
A laugh crowd track. I don't
know if I would like that personally.
Kind of like how they film Red Dwarf, like actually in front of an audience.
Oh, right.
And so it's the actual reaction.
I could see that. That would be interesting. I think that would be a different experience.
It would be very different.
yeah. But it could be good. I could see that.
Anyway, just a random thought I had halfway through the movie was like, what if this had a laugh track? And then I was like, that's a terrible idea.
That is a random thought. You know, it would be really funny to go into, like, the Holy Grail and just have clips where you add a laugh track in.
But Holy Grail moves so quickly that you need to actually pause the picture.
No, yeah. I actively pause the movie and have it going on.
Yeah, that would be pretty funny, though. I would do just random comedy. The Princess Bride, add a laugh track. Could make it funny. No more taking laugh tracks out of things, like The Big Bang Theory, to prove how unfunny it is. No, we're going to put laugh tracks in things to make it more funnier, I guess. I don't know.
You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Yeah.
Funny, he's going to kill him.
Or like when he does kill him, the crowd's like, woo!
Oh, yeah, a cheer track. Hell
Cheer
yeah.
track too.
Woo, we did it, gamers.
Anyway, it's a goodie. I'm giving this a goodie. I liked it. It's funny.
I give it a goodie as well. It's not the best, but it was definitely, like, it was very different from some of the things we've seen, because obviously with audio, it adds a huge, it's another dimension.
It is.
To the movie, and comedy is eternal, and this is pretty eternal. Still a bit racist, unfortunately, but hey, yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah.
I knew, because it's Marx Brothers, that there would be some stuff in here that I'd be a bit like, ugh. But the sheer amount of jokes that were just assault was a bit much for me.
Yeah.
That was a bit much.
All I'll say is at least the ending didn't end in it, because I was very worried at the ending.
Oh, yeah, me too, actually.
Yeah. But it ended well, so I'll forgive the movie. Not the 30s, though. I won't forgive that.
No. Yeah, I am going to give this a goodie. It's kind of like a goodie that I gave The General for me, though. Big caveats to it.
Caveat: racism bad, assault bad.
Yeah.
Same. I'll give that as well. A goodie, caveat, assault bad, racism bad.
You've got to kill your darlings, as the writer's adage goes, and I want your help killing mine. Are you a lover of the fantasy adventure novel? Have you ever wanted to add a class at Hogwarts? Or rearrange the nations of Middle-earth? Perhaps you'd redesign the alethiometer, or tweak the cosmos of the Discworld. Now's your chance. Kill My Darlings is an interactive fantasy writing podcast where you take on the role of editor and give feedback on a brand new world as it's created, or just vicariously enjoy the writing process. I'm waiting for you to kill My Darlings right now, wherever you listen to good podcasts. Kill My Darlings is proudly part of the That's Not Canon Productions podcast network.
Two goodies. Let's move on to Spoilerinos. Spoiler time.
I thought you were going to break into a musical. It's spoiler time. It's spoiler time. It's the part of the show where we spoil the shit out of the movie. It's time for the spoiler time. If you want to go watch the movie beforehand, because it's quite a good movie and you should probably watch it, even though it has racial stereotypes from the time and assault on women with, like, newspapers and other shit.
It's pretty constant.
It's spoiler time. It's spoiler time. It's time for us to spoil the movie.
Spoil it. It takes place in a house, lavish house, in a party. There's a party held by Mrs. Rittenrotten. Not Mrs. Rittenrotten. Mrs. Rittenhouse. Why? She's a stern lady. She's very stern.
That's my laugh track. I'm putting it in behind.
At the party, there's going to be a painting, great painting, going to be shown to everyone. Also at the party, it's held because returning from Africa is Captain Spaulding, the great adventurer man. And he comes in and he instantly gives women unwanted attention 4 minutes into the movie. I counted. I was like, whoop, it only took 4 minutes of talking in films for us to get a joke like this. There we go.
Yep. And he comes in with the Zulu warrior chariot where they carry it in, and it was just like, whoa, this was the wrong foot to start the movie on.
Yes.
It gets a bit better afterwards, but it's like, whoa, that was we are 4 minutes in and this is happening, I guess.
I do like his entrance song though, especially the one where he keeps getting cut off, like he goes to say something but they keep singing and so it just keeps
That was very funny. What are the other characters? You've got the artist and his spouse.
The aspiring artist, yes, Horatio, who is played by Zeppo Marx. Jeffrey Spaulding is played by Groucho Marx. He's, always kind of, not the lead, but he is always the one looking to the camera. He's always the more of a wise guy. He's the Deadpool of the film. He's just in his own world.
Please don't call him the Deadpool. That's so disparate. People will go, oh, that sounds shit. No, but he does have a moment where he looks at the camera and he apologizes for the joke they just made, and he's like, oh, they all can't be winners, I guess,
Oh, I did like how whenever he looks at the camera, but his eyes are slightly to the left. So he's not looking right into the lens, which was very funny.
He's looking at the director,
So there's him, there's Horatio, which is Zeppo Marx, who plays it straight the entire time. He gets a really good song, but he plays it straight.
There's the original artist for the masterpiece.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, there's the artist's spouse, the aspiring artist's spouse.
Arabella, yes, that's Lillian Roth, who also gets a fantastic song halfway through the film.
Yeah.
Closer to the end, I guess.
You've got the two scallywags, the scientist, ?
The professor, Harpo Marx is the professor.
And the other guy, what's he called?
Chico Marx is Signor Emanuele Ravelli. Is Italian man, makes a lot of jokes, can't say flesh properly. He says flesh like flesh. And there's big joke where it's like, no, I don't mean the flesh, I mean the flesh. Very Italian. Everyone calls him Mr. Ravioli.
Mr. Ravioli, and he steals stuff. They're both vagabonds.
Yes.
And they're coming in and they're nicking everything. I think the professor has 200 kitchen knives or something in his jacket at one point. Oh, and a mug of coffee.
A pitcher of coffee or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that all the characters?
So there's the madam of the house as well.
Yeah, Mrs. Rittenhouse.
Which you mentioned.
She's very funny. She's played by Margaret Dumont, and she's in pretty much all of their films. So she's great.
She's really good. So I mean that makes sense. There's the butler of the house.
Oh my god, the butler, yes.
Who was also the previous butler of the other characters, the spouse of the aspiring artist.
Yeah.
He was once their butler.
Yes.
Which is very funny.
The butler is, his name is Hives. He's played by Robert Gregg. And he was actually in the stage play version. He was the butler in the stage play version as well. He carried across, which is pretty good.
There you go. Was the butler the one that was secretly from Zimbabwe or something?
Czechoslovakia, whatever the fuck it was.
Oh, Czechoslovakia,
that long scene
yes.
where they just go through.
That was very dumb. I can't remember if that was the butler or the artist.
I think that was the butler.
Yeah.
They both look similar because they're both rather tall men with round faces and like mustaches. I got them confused as well.
Yeah, I did as well. But it's funny because I think he has like a birthmark, and the troublemakers steal the birthmark.
Yeah, I don't know how they managed to do that. Pretty wild, honestly. Good on them. Oh, I did because jokes like that show how everyone in the movie, aside from the Marx Brothers, really are playing it straight. And even one of the Marx Brothers is playing it straight. So it's really only the three comedy characters the only ones being super wacky, and that, I think, is a great way to do a comedy. I really like that sort of comedy. It's the same with, Monty Python to a point.
Yeah, you gotta have the straight man, to have the comparison to the wacky. So it becomes even more ridiculous. Because if everyone's ridiculous, that's just the norm here, right? But if you've got a lot of regular people, it means the absurdists are in a normal world causing bullshit. And that's fantastic.
I got some quotes for you. It's right from the start of the movie. I think it's Mrs. Rittenhouse is like, "You stand before me as one of the bravest men of all time, Captain Spaulding." And he's like, "All right, I'll do that." And then he just stands in front of her. It's very funny.
Oh yeah, I like that scene because then I think a minute later there's like a caterpillar and he faints because of the caterpillar.
Yeah. That was pretty good too. I think someone is like, "Let's see how we stand." And Groucho's like, flat-footed. He's got some really good lines in this, like, "One morning I shot an elephant in my pajamas. How he got in my pajamas, I don't know."
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of wordplay, a lot of clever wordplay throughout this movie, and it's great. I love it.
It's constant.
One line that jarred me early on is like, the women were talking, and one of them's like, "Well, I fancy this person," and the other one was like, "Well, you can't marry him, he's not successful enough," and the other one's like, "Well, what do you suggest I do? Suicide?" And I was like, whoa. What the fuck? Where did that come from?
Oh yeah, after the elephant line, he's like, "And then we tried to remove the tusks, but they were embedded so firmly we couldn't budge them. Of course, in Alabama the Tuscaloosa, but that's entirely irrelevant to what I was talking about."
Yes.
There's always one thing I wanted to do before I quit: retire.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense. I can relate, There's some great lines.
"I was outside the cabin smoking some meat. It wasn't a cigar store in the neighborhood."
Yeah.
Some of them are just dumb. It's just dumb comedy. And the fact that they had this in the 30s, just absurd, silly lines like that, is it makes a lot of sense as to why it's always been a popular style of comedy.
Hey, well, if you didn't like that joke, they did apologize for some of the poorer jokes during this movie, so, But the main plot of this movie is there's this fancy painting for this party, right? And what happens is, for a bit of a prank, a bit of jokester, the aspiring artist and his spouse are like, "Let's swap out this painting for my painting, because I did a copy of this painting." And then when they reveal it and they all go, "Wow, that's amazing," they go, he reveals that actually he painted it, and he'll get all the credit and everybody will love it. Unfortunately, I think like 4 or 5 other people have the same idea. It's very confusing. It's deliberately confusing, but at least 3 other people do the same thing, where they take down the poster and get a new one.
Yeah, there's a lot of swapping out the paintings, because the Professor and Ravioli also do it. There's 2 women who want to get back at Mrs. Rittenhouse. They also do it.
Yeah.
Because they want to play a prank. So that's already 3 painting swaps, and I think there's one more in there somewhere.
Like, I don't know when the Professor did it. It's just revealed at the end that he did it, which was quite funny. Oh, no, they did do it at one point. He was part of all that. But he wasn't supposed to have the painting because they hid the painting in the drawer, but then they got lost anyway. Confusion over the main plot aside.
Very confusing. Oh, which gives me an idea for the director of the remake, but we'll get to that later. I'm just going to quickly write that down. While I say another quote, I was talking in the past tense. We're way past tense. We're living in bungalows now. Anyway.
We're way past bungalows. We're living in houses now. Crazy. So while this is going on, you have I hated the comedy sketch with the bridge.
Bridge. What was the bridge? Sorry.
The card game.
Oh, no, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the card game.
Oh, no. I loved it and hated it because they start playing a game of bridge, but they play it in the worst way possible. And I was at the same time, I enjoyed it because I know card games, but I also know how to play bridge.
I don't think I've ever played bridge in my life, honestly.
Oh, it was the most confusing, incoherent card game I've ever seen in my fucking life. And it was amazing. Like, at one point, the guy just keeps playing aces over and over and over. He plays 10 aces of the same suit as well. 10 aces of spades in a row.
Yeah.
And that's when the women are like, nah, fuck this shit.
Yeah, I like the part how, I think it's the professor, he's just dumping cards he doesn't want into, Mrs. Rittenhouse's deck, and she's just not paying attention.
Yeah, he keeps, looking at the top card, being like, no, I don't want that. Looks at the top card, no, I don't want that. Looks at the oh, I want that one, and he puts it in his hand, and it's like, oh my god. It was both maddening and hilarious.
Yes, I enjoyed that one quite a lot. What's some other scenes? Oh, there's that one scene where I thought they were breaking character, because all throughout the movie, Spaulding, he does this thing where he's like, I'm Spaulding, I've always wanted to meet you. And he does that to the butler or something, I think. Or maybe it's the painter?
Yes.
The butler or the painter. And they just keep forgetting each other's names and just keep, introducing themselves over and over again. And at one point, Groucho just has this big smile on his face like he's about to corpse, break character. It's very funny.
Yeah, because they keep going, oh, very nice to meet you. Oh, yeah. Anyway, continue on with what we were saying.
Yeah.
Oh, that was great. I liked that he finished that conversation well, being like, oh, it's very nice to meet you, and then they left. That was great.
I think it's when Ravioli, I'm just going to keep calling him that, because I'm vaguely Italian and can.
I'm not, and I'm going to call him Ravioli.
Ravioli and the professor, they go to steal the painting, and then the light goes down, and so, Ravioli's like, I need the flash! And he means, the torch, the flash, but
yeah,
the professor keeps, mishearing him, and he's like, the fish? No, not the flash. I need the flash. It's like the flute. He starts playing the flute.
Yeah, they're playing the flute, and then then they get the lights going, and they start swapping the painting, and then it goes dark again. And so he's like, I need the flash, and he starts playing the flute again, and it's like, no, not the flute. It was great.
So much misheard dialogue. Oh, when I forget who says it, but someone's like, 3 cheers, haha. No, not 3 chairs, 3 cheers.
Yeah, the butler says it, I think. That's great.
Oh, but what about the scene where Groucho, he's dictating a letter, and the joke isn't just that the letter makes no sense. The joke is about grammar.
Yes.
The joke goes so much into grammar, and it's very complicated. It's a great scene.
Yes. And then it's like and then he goes comma, and it's like, oh, how do you spell comma? Yeah, and it's like, don't worry about it,
Yeah.
And yeah, in the end, they're doing this whole thing with the letter, they're, reiterating it, and the guy's like, oh, I cut out the entire middle bit of it, and it's like, you cut out the entire body of the letter. That's all right, we can send that after.
Yeah. When there's the part where he's like, that name... No, scratch her, and scratch him and him too, and maybe me afterwards, if you know what I mean.
But then at the end, they don't even send the letter, they just send an envelope with a stamp on it.
Oh yeah, it's like, would you like that in brackets? No, the letter won't get there that way. Send it in an envelope.
Yeah. Silly. I liked the piano scene.
That's my favorite scene, is the piano scene, I
Oh,
think.
that's your favorite
the letter
scene?
scene might be my favorite. The piano scene's a close second.
Oh, well, I think the letter scene's the cleverest one. But this one's great. So they get our good pal Ravioli on the pianos to tickle the ivories, as it were.
Yes.
But he keeps playing the same tune over and over again. He starts off playing this tune, and he keeps playing it over and over. And the guy's like, "Oh my god, let this fucking end!" And he's like, "I can't remember how to finish it. I think I missed it." And he's like, "Well, once you go around again, see if you can stop off, you know?"
Yeah.
He also plays one of his own tunes, which is a bit of a banger. And once again, I'll reiterate, the music for this film was quite good, because I liked the bit of a banger he plays where he's playing a tune in the middle of the piano, and then he tickles the last two notes for a little ding.
Yeah.
That was quite funky, I'll say. Funkadelic, as it were.
And what's the professor comes out at some point with some horseshoes and starts clanging them together, and that's the beat to the song. It's great. It's such a good scene.
Oh, absolutely.
Immediately after my notes on how much I like that scene, I wrote in all caps and a full stop after each word, "Stop grabbing women violently for a joke."
Yeah. Oof. He keeps putting their arms on his leg, like the inside of his thigh, and I was like, "Oh, stop doing that, you perv." We also have, I think the professor plays the harp at one point.
That was a good scene.
That was just a 5-minute scene of him playing the harp. That was it. There was no jokes. There was no nothing. He just plays the harp for a bit.
Yeah.
And it's kind of this just pause just before the end of the movie where you just listen to a guy play the harp. And I was like, oh, that was nice.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
That was really nice.
A little build up just before the end there. I was like, oh, that was a little nice little bit of a tune, eh, there?
A bit of a fun fact about him, though, the actor who plays the professor, Harpo Marx, his name was originally Adolf Marx.
Oh, no, Adolf Marx.
He changed that pretty early on.
Yeah. Wow. Adolf Marx is not that as bad name. Yeah, there's two ways you could take that, and that's bad.
Apparently, and I don't know if this is true, again, it's more of a rumor, but he changed it during World War One, which probably a good move considering
Yeah, considering what happened.
Considering what's coming up in this decade.
Yeah, definitely a solid maneuver there. Dodged a bullet on that one.
I lost my horse. It slipped out from between me.
Yeah.
Great.
Even had the stirrups on.
Yeah.
Don't know how it happened.
But yeah, they realize the painting's gone, and then we get the long ending where everyone's trying to figure out what's going on. And I think you probably understood it more than me, because I was just and by that I mean neither of us really got it.
Yeah. You're putting a lot of emphasis on me. I had no idea what the fuck, because you had the aspiring artist and his spouse. They're like, oh, we replaced the painting. Wait a minute, that's not even my painting. That's a poor copy of the painting, because they forgot details. All right, we need to go find the Ravioli brothers to get back the painting, because we swapped the painting out. And they had swapped the painting out, and he stored it in a drawer, but it was stolen from the drawer. And then those two older ladies, they were like, we can't find where our fucking painting's gone. And then they get the investigator in, and the investigator comes in, and adventurer guy is like, oh yes, I'm the top British officer of the fucking Scotland Yard, you know?
But he mixed some words around. He was like, I forget what he mixed around.
Yeah.
But he called himself Professor Yard from the Scotland Spalding or something.
Yeah, no, I'm Spalding from Scotland Yard. I'm Scotland from... Yeah. The officer takes it in his stride, and they do some investigating, which leads to the scene where they discuss about, where it could have gone, and the houses across the road, and then get into a real estate argument, where they're like, oh, it's a great location, great for kids if you're looking to move in. And he's like, oh, I don't know, I'll have to talk to my husband, you know. I think I was because I knew the movie had 10 minutes to go at that point. Yeah.
So when they just break out into a random sketch about housing, I'm like...
But then the other guy brings it back in and it's like, anyway, we should get on with finding that painting. And the other guy's like, what? What painting? What are you talking about? Yeah. I don't know any painting. It's very silly.
And then it ends with it being the professor who ended up having the painting.
Yes, but not just one version of the painting. He pulls out one painting and it's like, oh, this isn't my painting. It's terrible. And he pulls out the next painting and it's like, oh, that's my painting. That's a beautiful painting. That's my painting. Oh, wait, it's signed by someone else. And then the third painting comes out. It's like, this is my painting. How beautiful. And it's like, oh, wait, no, that's the aspiring artist's copy. And they're like, whoa, that's brilliant. Well done, sir. Excellent work. I'm going to hire you immediately to make a portrait of me.
Yes. So he gets a good outcome.
Yeah.
The professor, they're going to let him go because apparently in the movie he says he's 5 years old. That was definitely a joke, but also makes sense.
Yeah. He acts like a 5-year-old. The police officer is like, you could go, son. You're just hanging around with the bad crowd. You're being influenced poorly. We're going to let you go. And then as the police officer's like patting him on the back, 200 knives, silver knives and forks pour out of the guy's jacket.
Yep. And a coffee thing.
Yeah, and the guy's like, oh, and did you steal the coffee jug too? And then a coffee jug falls out. And he's like, you've got cream with that as well, you know?
Yes.
And then the officer's like, well, now I'm going to have to bring you in. And so the professor pulls out a knockout gas vial.
Yes, which, just historical context is a bit weird on that one, but he gasses everyone.
Yeah.
He gasses everyone, makes them all fall asleep or die? Not sure. I think it's asleep. I'm fairly certain it's asleep.
Oh, no, it's asleep.
Yeah.
Because the other guy's like, we need to get away. The professor's brother, Ravioli, is like, all right, while they're asleep, let's make our getaway. And then he gasses his brother as well.
Yes.
And then at the very end, he goes over to the woman he's been chasing this whole time.
And by chasing, we mean literally chasing.
Like, literally chasing. Like, not okay, buddy.
Don't do that. Don't do it.
Try dating first, you know?
I mean, maybe. Or just throw him in prison.
And then I was like, oh god, no, this movie's gonna end poorly. But he just lays down next to her and knocks himself out, you know?
Sure.
And I was like, oh, well, you know what? That's a more wholesome ending than I was expecting.
Yep.
So, very well.
Yeah, it's called a flit gun. It was used for mosquitoes and flies during the 30s, 40s, and 50s. Yeah. But don't know if it would knock someone out. Unsure about that, but...
Probably the professor's got his own, concoction for knocking people out.
But that is Animal Crackers. I don't think I've got anything else to really mention. Oh, there's that moment where I think Spaulding is like, he's in a conversation, and then he's like, wait, I'm gonna do a strange interlude. And then he like looks to the camera and delivers a sad monologue. He does this a bunch of times. That was funny. Oh, I think he said at some point, put that in your pipe and smoke it, which I was like, maybe first time in a movie. I doubt it, but maybe. But yes, I think that's the movie. I think we're good to move on. There's again, aside from probably like, would you say maybe 30% of the jokes being problematic, this is still a pretty good movie.
Yeah. That still leaves 70% of the movie.
Yeah, exactly. And that 70% was pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go.
But yeah, it's definitely not their best movie. Some of the others are a lot, I guess, funnier? I don't know. The plot is a lot better as well. I think the plot in this one takes a bit of a backseat.
Yeah. It definitely makes me excited to go watch their other movies, because I thought it was quite good and I was quite entertained throughout. So, yeah.
Well, howdy, it's me, Jason Voorhees, and I'm here to sell you a machete. Haha, I'm just playing. It's Sally McSeller, and I've got another ad to put into your ears right now. The boys want me to let you know that you can go over to patreon.com/oldie but a good bleh. But why did they hire me? I don't know. I'll do the URL later. Anyway, there's a new episode bonus content on Friday the 13th, part 3. Here's a clip. God, I'm embarrassed.
The lady doesn't believe he's actually dead. She thinks it's all fake, but then he just dies in front of her, and then she's like, wait a minute. Oh no, he's dead.
Dead. That's right. That was a good, the kid who cried fox, whatever the fuck that story is.
Kid who cried fox?
The kid who cried wolf.
Yeah, what?
The fox
Yes.
and the wolf.
The boy who cried wolf.
Fox and the Hound.
No, different movie. Completely different message. Just wrong in every way.
Nah, whatever. I don't care anymore. Whoops, I probably should have given you a language warning because there was swearing in that one, but I don't fucking care because I'm Sally McSeller and woohoo! Go to patreon.com/oldiebuddygoodypod to get that bonus episode right now and put it in your ear holes. There's also ad-free episodes on the $1 tier. I'm an American. Woohoo! All right, well, let's come up with a remake. I guess we're gonna remake the movie. We're gonna recast it. We're gonna we're gonna bring it into the modern day. A modern day animated animal crackers film about.
Oh God! Why did you say that? But we could make it animated though, but not with animals, or maybe with animals.
No, I reckon we. Well, here's my idea.
Okay.
Animal Crackers is a movie about a stolen thing. It's a mystery, it's complicated, doesn't entirely make sense, and it's very silly. Just like the movie Glass Onion, which came out recently. I reckon we get Rian Johnson to direct this. I think Rian Johnson, he's got the wits. He'd be able to bring the comedy into the modern day. I think Rian Johnson would do a great work directing and probably writing this movie.
Yeah, I could see that. I could absolutely see that. Yeah. But who are we going to put as some of our clever characters?
Well, that's it. We need to recast some of the characters. And I guess we start with Spaulding, right? We start with Captain Jeffrey Spaulding. He's not British. Why am I doing a British voice?
Okay, I've got multiple angles for this one. Benedict Cumberbatch.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. Because that's one direction, right?
Yeah.
Other direction, Danny DeVito.
Whoa.
Yeah. I know two ones that we've already brought up, but they are some of my favorites. So, but you've got two angles for that one, you right? I kind of think he's more of a Danny DeVito sort of character, where it's this very unassuming character that's pretending to be this grand adventurer.
Okay. I can see that. And it would make sense as to why he's the guest of honor, because he's, a lot more older. He's quite well traveled. I honestly can see him in that role. But here's the thing. I can also see Danny DeVito in the role of Ravioli.
That's true. I think we should have every character played by Danny DeVito. if we didn't have to come up with multiple actors for our remakes, I would genuinely like to see this movie remade, but every character's played by Danny DeVito.
Yeah, true.
That would be very funny.
Yeah, I reckon we could do Danny DeVito as Spaulding. I'm trying to think who else.
Yeah, we could put this on the back burner because, as I said, Danny DeVito could play many characters.
He could.
In this movie. So maybe let's come up with some other ones. What other ones have we got?
I'm thinking for Harpo Marx, for the Professor.
Yeah.
Tim Robinson is one of the best physical comedies. He can very much transform himself to look like a baby man if he needs to. His sketch show, I Think You Should Leave, is one of the best comedy things out right now. I think he would be really good in that role.
I could see that. Yeah. Absolutely. We'll give him an equally silly wig.
Yes. Oh, 100%.
Get a big funky wig. But here's my change. Now, this might sound controversial, Sandro, but I want to take out all the assaults that's constantly happening.
I think he should just kind of be silly. Silent and silly. Or maybe not silent, maybe he speaks in gibberish.
Oh, that would be funny. That would be... we go a Mr. Bean route with him,
Yeah.
We just have him... We could have him do some, silly comedy stuff. That sort of thing.
Again, with Ravioli, I don't know. I think we should do him later. I want to recast Mrs. Rittenhouse, I think.
Okay.
I don't know who, though. I'm thinking like a Kathy Bates, but she's probably too old now.
Yeah, I was also thinking along those lines, actually, because I was thinking of Kate Mulgrew.
Oh,
Yeah. But she's a bit old, but I actually think she could still pull it off.
Kate Mulgrew, I think, could definitely, yeah.
Yeah, Kate Mulgrew's great. I'm actually keen for that one.
I like Kate Mulgrew. I'm down. Yeah.
Let's put her down for this.
I think Kate Mulgrew as Mrs. Rittenhouse is very funny because she's got that like
Refined.
Yeah.
Yes, dignified, stern, but also she can crack a smile and crack a joke.
Yeah.
And she could do that whole like, oh, you're so charming, Mr. Adventure Man. And then it's fucking Danny DeVito being like, yeah, I'm fucking charming as shit.
Whereas I think Kathy Bates would just be like, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
Because that's Kathy Bates.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I think Kate Mulgrew is a good...
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Kate Mulgrew is fantastic for that one.
I think Kate Mulgrew was good. The aspiring artist was the other Marx Brothers, so we should probably redo him.
That's true, yeah.
I kind of want to change the gender of one of these characters. I don't know which one.
Ooh. Because I was going to say Tom Holland, everyone's favorite.
Yeah, a Tom Holland type.
Yeah. I just throw him in there. Or maybe a Chris Pratt.
No, we're
good.
not putting Chris Pratt in any of these.
And what about for Ravioli, Sandro? We could have Chris
We could
Pratt.
have him.
It's me, Ravioli.
For Ravioli, we're going to have John Leguizamo, who is, of course, the voice of Sid in the Ice Age movies, but I think he's Luigi in the live-action Super Mario Bros. Film.
No, he would, I think he would be good, yeah, because he plays those sort of, like, dodgy characters. I don't know how to say it, like, silly, dumb characters quite well.
Yeah, he always plays, like, either a bad guy or someone who's just, like, incompetent enough that they become the bad guy.
He should absolutely play Ravioli. That would be great.
And then, I mean, I like Danny DeVito, but we could have a Super Mario Bros. Reunion and cast the guy who plays Mario in the old film.
Oh, yes. The guy. Who is that, Sandro? Please explain who is playing Mario in the latest Mario movie.
Not Chris Pratt in the original one. Bob Hoskins. We get Bob Hoskins.
The original one.
He died 9 years ago. Can't get him back in.
Oof. That one's not going to work.
But that could have been funny. That could be funny.
I'm going to get Chris Pratt in one of these days. He's going to play one of these movies. I'll get him in.
So, yeah, we've got Horatio, the wannabe aspiring artist, and then Spaulding. I do want to change the gender of one of these characters. I don't know which one. It could be pretty funny to have, like, someone like Christian Wiig in a mustache as Spaulding.
Oh, yeah! The main character, absolutely. Yeah, no, that'd be really funny. Who did you suggest for that?
Natasha Lyonne in a mustache. And she's got, like, the New York voice.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see that. Absolutely. In an adventure. Yes, let's do that.
Natasha Lyonne in a mustache is the main character.
Yeah. Perfect.
And then who do you think for Horatio Jameson? Who's like a Tom Holland type, but probably not Tom Holland because we've cast him in 5 movies.
Yeah. There's just no actor like Tom Holland, unless I want to get any of the other Spider-Man actors. That guy who starred in Wheel of Time.
Wheel of Time.
The main character.
Who did he play?
Like the main dude.
Like the guy that played Rand?
Yes. Where is he? Joshua Stradowski.
Yeah, I can see it.
He was quite good. I liked him, so I think he would be a good role there.
Excellent. But anyway, I think that's our remake of Animal Crackers right there. We probably need to rename it, though, because Animal Crackers, the animated one, came out.
Oh, that's true. We might get in copyright.
What should we call it?
Animal Crack.
Animal Crack, the new film from Rian Johnson.
Animal Crack.
Do we put Daniel Craig in it and make this a Knives Out mystery? No, that kind of ruins the point.
Yeah, no. But it is a funny idea.
Yeah. Anyway, that's that one, and that's the entire bloody episode. Thank you so much for listening, as always, to this one. We're in the 30s. We're here, talking.
We made it, yeah. And we've got sound.
Yeah.
We've got comedy. We've got music. It's all happening.
It's all happening, and it's going to continue to happen.
Look, I hope we get, like, another silent film. But, yeah, after a little bit of more sound, you know, a little bit more talking, a little bit of thing, it's refreshing to come into the modern era once again, you know?
I mean, we're not really in the modern era, but we are in the 20th century.
More modernish. Look. This is the 1930s century. This is the modern era, Sandro.
Pre-war, too.
Yes. What war? What are you talking about? We just finished with a war, didn't we?
Well, we've got 8 more years of peacetime. So,
good lord.
Enjoy
it while it lasts.
Yeah, excellent. If you like the show, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, at Oldie But a Goodie Pod. What else can I plug? We like to thank every single person who reviews us on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Thank you, massive thank you to everyone who does that. Those star ratings really help out, get the show out in front of more people. Plus, just telling friends is also a good way to do it. We've got a YouTube. I don't know. The episodes are up there, I guess. We've also got patreon.com/Oldie But a Goodie. Zach, we haven't recorded it yet. We're actually recording it right after this, but Friday the 13th, part 3 is out.
That's some timey-wimey stuff.
Yes.
I would normally complain about the continuity, but in canon, the continuity is fucked right now. This makes sense in the timeline.
Time is all over the place. We're doing Friday the 13th, part 3, because we're slowly working our way through that, and then we're doing the Deuce Bigelow movies after that one.
Oh, I'm not looking forward to it. JK, I'm very much looking forward to it. Sandro's gonna suffer, and I'm going to enjoy every... I can already feel it now, those juicy morsels of Sandro suffering.
It's gonna be terrible. It's gonna suck. I'm gonna hate it. Rob Schneider is very good at comedy. He loves doing comedy. It's like, what's the deal with airplane food? He's not that bad. Actually, no, I would watch Seinfeld do unfunny stand-up over whatever the fuck Rob Schneider does. Anyway. But before we get to that, which is on Patreon, but we are doing something else before we get to that, and that's me picking movies. A movie for next week. I've got to pick a movie.
What year could that possibly be? Is that 1931?
1931. I've got to pick a movie. Now I could go for Monkey Business by the Marx Brothers, but we just did them, so I'm not going to do that.
Monkey Business. That reminds me of other Monkey Business we've done before. God.
The movie, whatever the fuck it was called. That was bad.
Yeah, we've done a few movies involving monkeys, and all of them have been terrible.
They have all been really bad. There's some popular films from 1931. There's the Charlie Chaplin movie City Lights, which I have seen. I think that's silent. It's The Tramp, and he never talked in a film, so that is a silent one. I've seen that one. It's some rom-com. I don't think you'd really like it.
What about Little Caesar? It's like a real life. It's a small time criminal.
Ooh.
He moves to a big city to get big fortune. So it's probably going to be like a more realistic sort of drama film.
What about The Bitch? There's a movie called The Bitch.
I was not expecting that. Oh yeah, what's The Bitch? Do tell me.
It's a French movie called, I don't even know how to say that, but it translates to The Bitch, about a bank clerk who moonlights as an artist and falls in love with a sex worker. So I guess she's that. I don't want to do that.
Great.
That sounds terrible. No, but there's M, Zach, from the director of Metropolis. There's his other popular movie, M.
That would be cool, because we did like Metropolis. But here's the problem, Sandra. What's the problem? There's 3 movies here, right?
Yes.
And one of which I'm going to mention is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
I don't want to do that one.
No, we're not doing that one. I'm just mentioning it because that goes along the lines of these ones where we have Dracula.
Oh.
The Dracula.
Yes.
And Frankenstein.
Oh, wait, is this...
Iconic monster movies of their generation, not our generation.
No, you're right. It is 1931, and that means it is the start of the Universal monster movies. They're starting with Dracula.
They're literally like 3 iconic ones. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Dracula, Frankenstein. How are we going to pick one movie
You want to do a monster movie? I also want to do a monster movie. And here's what I'm thinking. Zach. I believe, I'm just going to double check that this is correct, but I believe that these are both distributed, not Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, that's Paramount. I believe that these are both distributed by Universal Pictures. And obviously, later down the line, that became a cinematic universe, the first one, I think, where there was crossovers and stuff, and you know what I'm thinking. Because these two movies are connected somewhat, I reckon we do a bonus battle!
What? A bonus battle?
Bonus
Holy
battle.
crap, we haven't done a bonus battle in a while.
Bela Lugosi's Dracula versus Boris Karloff's Frankenstein's monster. Ooh.
That's crazy.
That's what I'm thinking. What do you think about that? It is two movies, but they are both like 70 minutes each, so it should be fun.
I mean, that would definitely be a lot of extra time and effort, which would, drain my sanity. But I also I want to do both these movies because they're both iconic monster movies. I'm some monster boys,
Yeah? Well, we like the Monster Squad, so we may as well do some Monster Boys.
Oh, absolutely. We should get all the Monster Squad in here. Absolutely, yeah. All right, let's do it. Let's do Frankenstein versus Dracula.
That's right. Or Dracula versus Frankenstein, whichever way you want to go.
That is the incorrect way of saying it. It's Frankenstein versus Dracula. Fuck you.
Which one are you going to pick? Because we've got to fight for one sometimes in some bonus battles.
Which one do you like? I know I have a bias, but I want to see what you like.
I don't know what if I have a bias. I prefer the story of Dracula, but I do really want to watch this Frankenstein movie, so I'm also happy to go either way. Maybe we don't pick a side. Maybe we throw that out the window.
I like Dracula. I've always been a vampire boy, as previously stated.
And I've always been a mad scientist boy, as previously stated.
That is true. But I'm more familiar with the Dracula story, whereas I'm less familiar with Frankenstein.
Well, that was part of the reason why Nosferatu didn't hold up as well, was how familiar we were. And it was just watching it again, so...
I think because I like Dracula, and because, I'm familiar with the story and all that, I should go with the Frankenstein one.
You want to be a Franken boy?
Because I haven't actually read Frankenstein. So I would like to choose Frankenstein, yeah.
And then I will choose Dracula. Boom! Next week, it's the first bonus battle of the year. We'll probably do more because we're doing popular movies. I don't know what to say, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of popular movies back here. Yeah, we got some good ones lined up, so it'll be good.
That's right. I mean, we haven't pre-planned this year at all. I don't know what you mean.
What do you mean?
All right.
I don't think anybody's paying attention to the continuity at this point, Sandra. I don't think we need to worry about that.
Speaking of the continuity, it's time for you to get out of here so we can wrap up this episode and then maybe have some standalone episodes after this. I don't know.
I'm in Grindelwald again, aren't I?
No, it's just Grindel. It's just we got to stop calling him Grindelwald.
Yeah, I know. But I like it because he's named Harry Grindel Matthews, right?
You're right. Harry Grindeldor. Grindeldor. That's my ship name.
Grindeldor. All right, see you later.
Oh my god, it's so disgusting. Almost like the I don't know.
Yeah, you're disgusting, Sandro. Do you know what disgusts me?
What disgusts you, Harry?
The future. But that's about to change.
Oh, you're changing the future, are you? Are you going to do it right now? Are you going to make a big change that's going to make me meet some wacky characters?
No, absolutely not.
I was kind of
you know the first rule of improv is to never say no, right? Well, fuck you. Grindelwald doesn't care. He's going to say no anyway. Wait a minute. Who are you? Oh, hello there. It is I, Sir Grindelwald Matthews.
Oh my
hello there,
God,
Sir Grindelwald Matthews. What are you doing here? This doesn't make any sense.
This is worse than when we had two Zacks on the podcast.
Oh my God. Wait a minute. Sandro.
Yes.
Yes, Sandro, I think I know what's happening. It's a Kang situation.
Oh my
God,
going on. It's a Kang dynasty. We're doing an MCU.
I still don't know what the Kang thing is. Can someone explain that to me? No, we're not going to explain it to you. Go watch Ant-Man.
You gotta watch Loki and then Ant-Man really to get the full picture. Well, yes,
watch Loki. Loki was actually good though. I quite liked Loki.
Loki was good. Anyway, I've got this gun. I'm gonna shoot one of you. Which one's the real one? I'm gonna shoot one of you.
I mean, we're both the real one. We're from different timelines.
Wait, you're naked, which means that you're the one who's the divergent timeline?
Excuse me, clothed challenged, thank you very much.
Okay.
I say you shoot the naked one. Kill him.
Yeah, but you're the one messing up time. But I probably need you to fix time.
Yeah, but this man's naked. Are you really going to let him stand there naked?
Got a good point.
Well, this is getting very confusing. I sure hope that doesn't have a big implication on the timeline that will cause something problematic next week.
I sure hope that's not going to make me meet some wacky characters for the next 6 episodes before we go back to the overall plot.
Ah, damn it. I was trying to avoid that. Get in the portal. Get out of here.
I'm out of here. Come on, Orphan. I haven't talked to you all week. Let's get to the portal.
What's going on? Does anybody have any money for bread?
Funny times.